the commencement of this maiden engagement of Eastern Regional Youth Parliamentary Advocacy Day, it's a pleasure and my privilege to be with you this morning to join the dedicated young people and youth leaders in dialogue on issues of integration as you mark the Youth Advocacy Day. I believe youth must take and play a central role in addressing pertinent issues affecting yourselves. Such may include, but not limited to, tackling climate change, education, political reforms, right to freedom, and many other areas. Youth can take advantage of civic spaces, physical spaces, and digital spaces, which expose interactive website pages as well as social media platforms, be it Twitter, Facebook, or Instagram, and live stream videos or even newer emerging sites to ensure societal transformation.
We should focus and reflect on the Africa we want as young people. What kind of Africa we want? We want the Africa where there is inclusion, participation of every citizen, young and old. We want the Africa where the voices of the citizen matter a lot, not the voices of the gun, where the vote counts and not the one who counts the vote. We want the Africa where the military is not politicized and the politics is not militarized. We want the Africa where development is for all, where the gap between the rich and the poor is not widening, but is shrinking. And as Action Aid, we strongly believe that poverty is a result of injustice and can be healed once we address the question of injustice, resource redistribution, and especially the issue of participation.
As young people, we are very, very passionate about not being left behind. As Faraja, we want to make sure that we coordinate ourselves as other young people within different spheres, as they mentioned, business and all other angles, to come and be part of the policy-making processes.
We are passionate as Westminster is because the issues of inclusion of youth, women, PWDs, and other marginalized groups is fundamental to the sustainability of democracy as we know it. Today, we are gathered here to engage EALA. These engagements started in small groups of 5-10 young people saying, what can we do in our small locality? What can we do in our institution of learning? What can we do in our caucus in Parliament? And the idea grew and formed into an initiative that we are now happy to support as a continental initiative.
Vijana in East Africa is glad to participate in this endeavor of supporting young people in the integration processes. There is growing hunger among the young people. When you move around in all the countries, and whenever you interact with them, the message is the same. Their desire for economic opportunities, their desire for political participation, their desire for networking and interrelations. And as Vision East Africa, we shall continue to facilitate that process of engaging, meeting, and ensure that your voices are heard beyond the offices, beyond the regional parliament, but even up to the highest offices in our own governments, to ensure that indeed our interests as young people, who are in trade, who are in politics, are completely taken very, very seriously.
We believe that if a policy is made with a young person, that policy is sustainable. As young people, if we come to this space, it is a safe space for us to air our views. And it being a safe place, that means our views and our voices will be taken into consideration as law and will be considered in the development of our region and integration processes. We believe in dialogue. We believe in engaging you and making sure that we are part of the development processes, and most importantly, our voices do matter to you.
And all these answers, Right Honorable Speaker, lie in the African Charter on Elections, Democracy and Good Governance. We are here this morning to call upon your office and the Legislative Assembly to urge the member states to ratify this charter. It is the charter that speaks for the Africa that we want. It's the charter that speaks for Africans. And we believe that if it is implemented, domesticated and practiced in East Africa will flourish and East Africa will grow.
Future generation starts with me and with you. And I have said before, East Africa is your home. These are your countries. Work very hard and make sure that you work to harness and make use of the resources for the current and future generation.
Every generation must, out of relative obscurity, define its own destiny and either make it or destroy it. Now, the next generation is our generation. It is our time. And ours is to ensure we spur the people of East Africa to economic recovery and prosperity. You must know that no one is going to give you political space, because politics is competition. You must fight and occupy that space. And that's why you are here, because you are fighting for your political space.
The youth of this community from all over East Africa who made it to Arusha, in particular Faraja Africa Foundation, for the organization of this event. I appreciate the role of Action Aid Uganda, the International Republican Institute, and our good friends, the Westminster Foundation for Democracy, for their partnership. I once again wish you fruitful deliberation. Thank you for your attention. And on behalf of the Speaker, I'm pleased to hand over these principles to the chamber of your Speaker today to preside over the Youth Parliament and to wish you all and the members the very best. It is now my privilege and pleasure to declare the East African Community Youth Parliamentary Day officially open, and I thank you for your kind attention. Karibuni sana EALA, karibuni sana Arusha, karibuni sana Afrika Mashariki, na furahieni nchi zenu.